for the stars, when I reach for your hand, but stars tumble down from the clouds to the land. When you come to my arms, in that moment divine, all the stars in the sky are mine, all mine. I reach for the stars, when I reach for your hand, but stars tumble down from the clouds to the land. When you come to my arms, in that moment divine, all the stars in the sky are mine, all
So, welcome back to UK Astronomy here on Seclo Sound. Steve Whitten here with Ross Hockham, founder of UK Astronomy. Special guest Dan, Meteor Mick, of course, as always. And we've been talking about Pluto. And we started off a little while ago talking about why it had been downgraded and what actually designates a planet in the first place. So just give us a quick reminder then, Ross, of what happened there.
Well, it has to be in direct orbit, as we said, of our sun, which Pluto is. It has to be a spheroid or a circular shape, so it is. Mm-hmm. But it hasn't cleared its neighbourhood because there's a whole Kuiper belt around it and objects and things, and it's got a few moons that we'll talk about in a minute. But I had a talk with a guy called Jerry Stone, actually. I think it was a year or two ago, and he's I think he's part of... I didn't realise until after I'd had a conversation on a stall next to him that he was actually part of the UK space programme.
Oh, wow, right, okay.
So I was quite humbled by that I'd had a conversation about Pluto with him, because he's quite into wanting it to be a planet again. And he said, if you look at the equation that they're saying, it hasn't cleared its neighbourhood. If you look at Jupiter and Saturn, they have 60 odd moons each, which people are saying are trapped asteroids and things that have been brought in by their immense gravity and things like that. So if they've got 60 objects all floating around them, have they cleared their orbits, really? Because there are 60 and we might find more, you don't know. So they technically, if you go by that equation, might not be planets. Even though they're massive, they might be classed as dwarf planets.
Wow.
So that was his argument to try and get Pluto back, from what I heard.
Yeah.
But that was back in a few years ago when I didn't know as much as I know.
Right. And have you got anything floating around Uranus?
No, not that I know of. Not yet. But I do know that the real reason, or I think the real reason it was downgraded, was because they found something that wasn't around Uranus. It's actually in the Kuiper belt. And we like to say Uranus. And it's called Eris. And Eris is actually another object there and is larger than Pluto. So they've obviously found this other object and gone, well, hang on a minute, it's bigger than Pluto, so that means there's going to be another planet. But we can't really have that. And then they realised that there was Ceres, the Pluto itself, another one called, I can't really pronounce this, but it's Hamu. I'm just going to call it Hamu. Haumea. It's another thing you can write in and
that's a good idea, yeah. Put that on Twitter and tell us how to pronounce it.
Another one called Make, or maybe Mickey. Sounds good.
Oh, Meet your
Mickey.
Yeah.
We'll have that. He's floating around there somewhere.
Well, you can't have Pluto without Mickey Mouse, eh?
Let's call it Mickey Mouse. We've got Mickey Mouse.
And Dan the Duck.
Spaceman Dan.
Yeah,
and Eris. So they've recognised so far 5 other ones that are dwarf planets, and one's bigger than Pluto.
Right.
So there might be hundreds more out there. So the more they find, they can't add all those to the list of planets that we have. Because otherwise, poor Dan's going to go to school and be like, right, let's talk about the planets today. There's about 200 of them. So here's all their names. This is how far away they are. This is what they are, blah, blah, blah. You can't. So I think maybe they downgraded Pluto because they found all these other objects and thought, yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah.
Isn't it also a case of the fact that Charon, its moon, is almost the same size as Pluto itself?
Yeah, I heard that. I don't know. I think I read that they might actually almost be in orbit with each other. But I think Charon actually goes around Pluto more or something like that. But their gravity must be pulling on each other and doing stuff. So yeah, if it...
Yeah, I think they do a little dance in space.
So hang on. I've got to ask the question then. If that's the case, why is Pluto not the moon of Chiron?
Because Pluto is slightly larger.
Yeah, it's always the larger one. So yeah, that does that.
I'm bemused. It's amazing, this
Well,
stuff, isn't it?
yeah. Well, that's why the debate is going on about whether or not it's a planet or not. Because if like Charon is almost the same size as Pluto, then shouldn't we be calling it Charon?
Yeah.
In which case, every teacher is now like ripping their hair out, going, "My very easy method just speeds up naming
Billions of planets.
cabbages."
Something else, yeah. That's right. Oh dear. Right. Well, do you know what? After all that, I think it's time for Ross in Space. So, Ross, here we are. Ross in Space.
This is my part of the show.
Yeah. So there must be some other interesting things that this spaceship that's hurtling through, at kind of, I don't know,
breakneck speeds,
8 years a planet or whatever it was, that speed you said. It must have seen some other stuff. So what other things has it brought to light for us?
Well, with Pluto itself, the biggest thing that captured like the imagination of people, especially the public, is it appears to have like a heart shape, which is almost like, everyone's going, that's nice. But they now actually think that it was probably an impact. Something had hit it, and like almost dug a groove out of it to make that sort of shape. And then it has filled slowly with nitrogen dioxide. And it's actually nitrogen dioxide ice. So it's like a huge glacier of nitrogen dioxide has filled it, which has given it the shape and the colour of what it is. So it looks different to the planet itself. And the ice is slowly shifting from underneath, pushing it up. So there's no real craters on it, which is why it's so smooth, because it does take millions of years, but in space-time that's quite quick. So there isn't really any... So that's why it's smooth. There's no real crater impacts because they've all been shifted away. And there are actually water ice. It's quite strange. We think of it as different stuff on Earth, but water ice there can be like mountains, and it actually creates icebergs on the nitrogen dioxide because it floats compared to it. So it floats on the top like icebergs, which is a bit weird. So yeah, it's found that. We also found it has 5 moons, and they've taken a good look at that. And Charon itself has some interesting names.
Yeah, so
coming over too.
When New Horizons flew past, they actually took a lot of photographs of Charon, and they've named a lot of the craters after astronomers. But being a geek myself, I was very interested to see that there are some provisional names of some craters. So we've got Vader crater from Star Wars, Nostromo Chasma, Nostromo being the spaceship from Alien, Gallifrey Macula, Gallifrey being where Doctor Who is from, and Spock crater, which is Star Trek. So, as I say, all these names are provisional, but hopefully maybe if you go on the IAU website, you can kind of convince them to set them in stone so we can have our favourite sci-fi series heroes out there forever.
Yeah,
right.
Put in the history of mankind.
Definitely. Well, and you mentioned stone there, and talking of other planetary objects, we're going to come back and talk about its salt gym, but not as we know it.
Yeah.
Bringing people and communities together on seclosounds.org.
Your listening station.
Soundtracks at 10 p.m. on Tuesdays plays film music.
Well, here's another nice mess you've gotten me into.
You're good, kid. But as long as I'm around, you're second best. You might as well learn to live with it.
Why am I so starry-eyed and mystified every time I look at you. Fallen stars come into view. Can it be that I'm in love with an angel from above? I ask my heart replies, yes, that's just why you're so starry-eyed.
That's just why you're so starry-eyed.
When we touch, I hear angels sing.
Starry-eyed.
When we kiss, I hear wedding bells ring.
Starry-eyed.
Can't explain what I feel inside, but I know it's love, true love at last. I know why I'm starry-eyed, starry-eyed and mystified. All my dreams are coming true, just because I'm so in love with you. When we touch, I hear angels sing. When we kiss, I hear wedding bells ring. I can't explain what I feel inside, but I know it's love, true love at last. I know why I'm starry-eyed, starry-eyed and mystified. All my dreams are coming true, just because I'm so in love with you. Starry-eyed, starry-eyed, starry-eyed.
So here we are at the final stages now of the UK Astronomy show. We've been talking about Pluto. Steve Whitten here, Set Close Sounds. Community radio from Milton Keynes, of course, but not just for Milton Keynes, because we're going national with UK Astronomy. Now, just before that very short break, we had a rather stupid, tenuous link, which was, it's Salt Gym, but not as we know it. What am I talking about, guys?
We're talking about Ceres, another dwarf planet. Mm-hmm. And when New Horizons flew by it, took a picture and thought, it would just be another, asteroid or something like that. And they actually found, in the picture, there were two really bright reflective spots shining straight back at them from the picture. And it doesn't use a flash or anything. So they're thinking, well, where'd that come from? What is it? Mm. And at first, they thought that it might be just like ice that was in the middle of this dark crater, so it was showing up more because it reflects the sun's light, even from that far away. Right. But over, it's been a year now, they've managed to correlate data and try and figure out what it is, and it looks like it's actually sodium deposits. So on this, there's actually salt.
Right. Okay.
There's salt on this little bit of rock, billions of miles away, that we didn't even know about, and they're not sure what type of salt it is yet. So it might not be like our everyday table salt. It might be something completely different.
I was going to say it's a long way to go to get some salt.
Can I have some salt on these chips, please? Yeah, give me 8 years, and then another 8 to get back, and I'll be right there.
I think Poland's nearer. There's quite a bit of salt there, apparently.
Yeah. Well, what's the sea? The salty sea. That's
the Dead Sea.
The Dead Sea. Yeah. Maybe there's a Dead Sea on Ceres.
Yeah. Mick remembers the Dead Sea when it was just critically ill.
Yeah, so there's a bit of knowledge for you.
Yeah, which bit?
Well, either really, whichever you like. If you want to talk about Mick all day, the listeners write in.
Absolutely, that's a whole new show.
Mick's life.
Yeah. Okay, cool, good stuff, brilliant. Is there anything else to add, guys?
No, I think that's all we know. Mm-hmm. Other people might know more, so they're more than welcome to go on the Facebook and add stuff that. I mean, more's going to come to light, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
As the years go by and more data gets correlated by NASA and that, and more telescopes and stuff being built. James Webb, can't wait for that. It's going to be the next Hubble, but massive.
Yeah, brilliant. That sounds great. Okay, well, we're going to be recording more shows that will go out on the UK Astronomy website, Facebook page, our website as well. So it's all about getting more and more people into this. But we're going to come up with a little competition. It's not really a prize, is there? It's just we want people to write in and tell us stuff. So we're going to play out with a little bit of music. So it's time to say our goodbyes. So
it's goodbye from me.
Goodbye. That's Ross. Dan?
And goodbye from me.
You've enjoyed yourself, Dan?
Yeah, I've had a great time. Thank you.
Fabulous. Thank you. And Mick?
Yes, until next time.
Until next time. Okay, well, until next time, have a listen to this piece of music, and what we want you to do is write in on the Twitter feed at UK Astronomy, or the Facebook page, which is UK Astronomy, of course, with